I'm a guy that's been a world champion. I've fought the top in the world. I beat, former champions. I've beat future champions. I'm a finisher.
The California kid stands him up and sits him down.
When you look at the style of Frankie Edgar and you look at the style of Urijah Faber, I predicted this would be an incredibly fast-paced and a very highly skilled fight. Both guys have outstanding striking. Both guys have excellent footwork. Both guys have very good submissions.
It's all over!
Two former champions going at it. If this isn't a super fight, I don't know what is.
I can't wait for this battle with Frankie Edgar, and I've been training my whole life for a fight like this.
To me, it's like, Leonard and Hearns, going at it back in the day, some of the best lightweights ever.
The winner of this fight will be positioned, perhaps challenged for the title.
I don't know if he's fought anybody like me. My confidence is at an all-time high. I'm someone that's dangerous.
I want to go in there and dominate, I don't want it to be a close fight. My foot's going to be on the gas pedal and I got a heavy foot.
I love the challenge, I love the opponent. It's going to be a battle.
All right, here's the tail of the tape for our main event. Frankie Edgar is 33. Uriah Faber, as of a couple days ago, is 36. Both men 5'6" tall. Frankie Edgar has a slight 1-inch reach advantage. All right, to get us started for the main event, here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Sanctioned by the Games and Amusement Board. Our three judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Howie Booth, Barry Foley, and Khan Papayoanu. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, Steve Percival. And now, for those in attendance and UFC fans watching around the world, live from the sold-out arena in Manila, Philippines, it's time! 5 rounds in the UFC Featherweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 32 wins, 7 losses. He stands 5'6" tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Sacramento, California, USA, presenting the former WEC Featherweight champion and the number 3 ranked fighter in the world, the California Kid, Urijah Faber! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 17 wins, 4 losses, 1 draw. He stands 5'6" tall, weighing in at 146 pounds. Fighting out of Toms River, New Jersey, USA, presenting the former UFC lightweight champion and the number 2 ranked featherweight fighter in the world, Frankie the Answer Edgar!
Okay, gentlemen, we've been over the rules in the change rooms. I want you to protect yourselves at all times, obey my commands at all times. You're both professionals. I expect a good, clean, fair fight. If you want to touch gloves, do it now. Thank you. Step back to the corner.
Well, certainly a championship feel in the building tonight. Frankie Edgar, Urijah Faber.
Okay, you ready? You ready? Let's go, gentlemen.
All right, we are underway. Frankie Edgar in the black, Urijah Faber in the blue. Edgar's jersey tough, groin strike ain't gonna bother him.
It's interesting, Faber talked a lot about that. He said there's absolutely no quitting either one of us, which is so intriguing about this matchup. Uriah said, I rely on breaking guys so often in there, and I know, and I've had to plan to not be able to break this guy.
Uppercut is there for Edgar early. Faber physically in the shape of his life. All indications were that this was a relatively healthy and seamless training camp for him as he moved back up to 145 pounds, put some muscle back on his frame.
Frankie constantly moving. Said he wants to be very wary of the overhand right of Urijah Faber, believes that's his best punch. Also said he absolutely wants nothing to do with Urijah Faber on his back or on his neck. There's a look at that overhand right from Urijah. Sets it up with a nice left hand to the body.
Faber lands with the left hand.
And Faber's so sneaky. He's constantly setting you up with head fakes and feints and switching his feet. He gets you to look at something else, and then he uses that hand speed. Nice combination there by Frankie.
Nice Urijah's able to land as well.
Yeah, Urijah's able to land an overhand right as he exited.
Frankie Edgar, a 4-1 favorite here tonight. Faber backs him up with a push kick there.
Another nice overhand right there by Urijah, but he misses with the knee. Talking to Mark Henry, Frankie Edgar's coach, he said volume is really the name of the game, and I don't know a coach that approaches the game like Mark Henry. He analyzes tape of practice almost like an NFL coach. Urijah really starting to capitalize on the timing of Frankie Edgar as he comes inside. He landed another nice overhand right, and it's Frankie Edgar level changing, getting the fight to the floor. Nicely done.
So that's 2 warnings so far from Percival to Faber for grabbing the fence.
Make it 3. He's not grabbing it tight. He's just allowing his fingers kind of fall on it. This is what Frankie expected. He said this guy is so hard to hold down. He did not expect to be able to do it. Right now, Urijah's got to separate the hands of Frankie Edgar and get out of this position. Nice job there from Urijah. A lot of people wondered how Frankie Edgar would be able to take Urijah down and if he'd be able to avoid some of the chokes from there. He did so with relative ease, but really couldn't control Urijah once he had him down.
A lot of people were wondering who would have the speed advantage, who would have the strength advantage tonight. Any early thoughts on that?
You know, you got to give the speed advantage to Frankie, although Urijah is able to land some fast punches, and a lot of it's just set up by the constant fakes and feints. They give the speed advantage to Frankie and the strength advantage to Urijah, even though Urijah is actually coming up a weight class for this fight. And there you see a very fast right hand snuck right in between the hands of Urijah and on his chin from Frankie.
Faber with as many wins by submission as Edgar has career wins.
And the biggest difference in the striking is Frankie loves to throw combinations where Urijah is more one strike at a time in most cases.
Best in the world, please, let's go. Let's go.
All right, ready for round 2 of a possible 5. Brian, Stan, any major takeaways from either corner in between rounds?
Well, Edgar's corner knew. They said, hey, he's catching you as you come in with his right hand. They want to see him go to the body more in this round, but they want him to set it up. Go to the head first, then go to the body. And Urijah's corner wants him to start working some head kicks. They want to try and... Oh, nice knee there from Urijah Faber. Landed directly on the chin of Frankie, but he lands an uppercut in return.
Little blood trickling out of the nose of Frankie Edgar.
And you could see the sense of urges there for Frankie. As soon as Urijah even looked at his back, he wanted out of that position.
And was able to use his speed to get out. There's the right hand for Frankie Edgar. And it is Faber moving up a weight class here tonight, but appears to be the bigger man in there on fight night.
And he's looking to counter Frankie right now. You can tell he wants to catch a kick and try and go for a takedown. Nice combination there from Frankie, finished with a head kick. This is what happens when you fight Frankie Edgar and you're trying to analyze, when you're trying to look for openings. He's piling up points on you with a high volume attack.
Faber just out of range with that jab. Faber able to rip the body there.
A couple times now with overhand rights and one knee where Faber's really been able to time Frankie perfect as he comes in. A nice left hook there from Urijah.
3 minutes now to go in round 2. A lot of people surprised at the discrepancy in the betting line here. Urijah Faber, a plus 350 underdog coming in. You had to look far and wide for those predicting him to win this fight. Oh, big right hand for Edgar.
Yeah, much closer fight than those odds say.
And you got to think that Faber heard a lot of that noise. Nice stick and move there by the California kid.
Yeah, you see the power that he has in that overhand right and why Frankie Edgar is concerned with that specific punch. Oh. Gorgeous fake to the body with the left hand. He came right over the shoulder with that overhand right by Frankie Edgar.
So for the second time this round, the overhand right is there with authority for Frankie Edgar.
It's just a massive amount of volume for a guy, even at a lower weight class. And his coach, Mark Henry, will put him at a pace. Hey, we want this many strikes per round in this training camp. He films all of his sessions and reanalyzes them. Excellent flurry there, finished by an uppercut from Frankie Edgar.
Trying to use Faber's aggression and offense against him. Tremendous footwork on both sides on display.
But as fast a chess match as you'll ever see.
Really is something to behold at the highest level of mixed martial arts.
Both of these guys are exceptional setup artists. You know, their fakes and their feints are all getting you to react a certain way. See both guys really respecting the wrestling capabilities of each other, and very limited takedown attempts here in the second half of round 2.
Frankie having some success this round, countering the offensive Faber.
He said he wanted to use a lot more leg kicks in this fight. You know, ever since Urijah got hit with massive leg kicks against Jose Aldo, he's gotten harder and harder to kick. He's very quick at retreating and getting that leg out of range when you try and kick him.
10 seconds, gentlemen.
Pretty good combination there for Frankie Edgar.
Okay, you ready? You ready, round 3? Come on, let's go, gentlemen.
Two of the best in the game, Urijah Faber, Frankie Edgar. Round 3 of a possible 5. Justin Buchholz in the corner of Urijah Faber calling for the right uppercut. And he wants Faber again to look for that right head kick. And in the other corner, Mark Henry. With so much code language, it was hard to decipher exactly what he was looking for.
Yeah, you can't understand what he's saying. And does it on purpose, obviously, so that Frankie's opponents who also speak English don't understand what he's calling for. But Urijah Faber's cornerman, Martin Kampman, also wanted a lot more volume. They believe that he's connecting well with his right hand, but they just need more. These have been pretty close rounds, and Urijah's landed some good, significant strikes, but the volume has belonged to Frankie Edgar.
Counter left is there for Faber, albeit not with a ton behind it. Both guys proven to be extremely difficult to hit.
Yeah, just so quick. A nice body shot by Urijah. It looked like he was going to exit unscathed, but Frankie able to dig a body shot of his own right at the end.
And there's a right hand for Faber up top.
And that's one of his best combinations. He tricks you by switching the feet up, and you think a kick is coming or he's coming from a different angle. And he'll land that overhand right and sometimes a very nice uppercut from that same setup.
Nice job defensively by Edgar, and then he lands the uppercut. Just over 3 minutes now to go in our middle round.
And just doesn't slow down. Nice entry. Here's where he's got to be careful, though. Urijah's got his hands around his neck. Oh, very nicely done by Frankie Edgar. Avoids the choke because he passed the guard immediately.
Frankie Edgar, a black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You got to think submission defense was a big focus of this training camp with Ricardo Almeida and the rest.
Exactly right. He said he drilled time and time again with Almeida, and there's some great guys with great guillotines in that camp. And said Ricardo Almeida drilled him over and over again for Urijah Faber's submission attempts.
You just can't keep a good man down. Faber is to the canvas, but for how long? Likely not very.
And this is the biggest improvement I've seen in Frankie Edgar's game. The integration of powerful strikes while he's on the ground. But again, the minute he lets his hands go to hit Urijah, he's back to his feet.
Under 2 minutes to go in round 3. Frankie in pursuit of another takedown.
Urijah's going to try and use the fence here and roll his hips over, but again, Frankie moves immediately to pass. Now hooks the legs, he's going to work for mount. Beautiful Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu there from Frankie Edgar.
And Faber just was not going to be mounted.
He's just got fantastic hips. He is as hard to hold down as anyone.
Couple nice shots by Edgar on the way up. 5 or 6 warnings now from Steve Percival to Urijah Faber. Again, not egregious grabs of the fence necessarily, but...
Oh, a missed opportunity there by Urijah Faber as Frankie Edgar stumbled a little bit outside of that clinch.
Less than a minute now to go in round 3. Nice left hand is there for Faber. He is landing, but not necessarily with the volume that his corner's looking for.
Yeah, he's going to have to start letting his hands go a little bit more. And it's difficult, though, when you're fighting a guy who's as quick to take you down as Frankie Edgar. It makes it more difficult to unleash your best combinations.
15 minutes in the books of what has been a very technical fight. We'll stay here in between rounds.
Here's a replay, body kick by Frankie Edgar. Nice right hand there from Urijah, but immediately answered by Edgar, and here's the big takedown. And just not able to control Urijah Faber for long on the ground at all.
You're cold. He just waits you to come in. He will see. You see. You follow what I'm saying? And then what body? Your vise, go down to the body on your vise. Pop, pop, and then go body.
Need this one. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Land that right hand. Let's put him down.
Keep those feints going. Feints going, and then
right. Same way you do on Joseph. Hey, you hit him with the
Red De La Cruz is here. Round 4 of a possible 5. Urijah Faber and Frankie Edgar, two of the most conditioned athletes on the planet in any sport. Both men want this one so badly for their legacy.
This is a very important round for Urijah Faber. Round 3 was probably the most dominant round and easiest to score of the fight. He's got to be really careful, because sometimes Frankie Edgar, when he starts to gain momentum, he can start to wear guys down and dominate them. Urijah's got to answer back this round with a lot more volume, and possibly a takedown of his own.
And it's almost like Frankie Edgar has 2 corners, the one you see on the TV and his father right behind us. Beautiful counterattack there by Edgar.
He does such a nice job of working the body and the head. Makes it very hard to defend his combinations. And spinning back kick.
And as you pointed out earlier, it's just non-stop offense. And he puts opponents on the defensive. It's hard to mount your own offense when you're constantly being attacked.
Yeah, and he's very sound defensively as well. He doesn't leave a whole lot of openings. Frankie doing a nice job of rolling with the punches there. Eats an overhand right from Urijah, but able to answer back with 2 of his own. Faber's corner wants him to clinch more and exchange immediately after. They believe he's winning the clinch exchanges. This is when Urijah starts to find his rhythm at best, when he starts moving his feet around, switching his stances, feinting and faking. Oh, but a nice right hand landed there from Frankie Edgar.
Faber has gone the 5-round distance 5 times.
These two could probably do 10 rounds. There's not many guys I'd say that about, honestly.
Faber lands to the body.
Yeah, it's rare that we see Urijah in a fight where he's unable to take the guy down, and his threat of takedowns really opens up a big portion of his arsenal on the feet as well. Frankie's just such a good wrestler, and it's so difficult to get down on the floor. Now you see Urijah starting to fake some takedowns. Maybe he's setting one up.
Under 2 minutes to go in round 4.
And Urijah tried to get in on those hips and get in on a single leg, but Edgar able to float those hips and sprawl backwards easily.
Adjust on the end, adjust on the end.
Beautiful entry there by Edgar.
Just gives you so much to think about, and the minute he catches you sleeping, he goes to something different. And immediately Urijah back up to his feet, looking to separate the hands of Frankie Edgar.
Edgar with a body lock here. Perhaps he'll try to drag Faber back to the mat. Couple right hands for good measure. Nice job by Faber defensively there.
Excellent technique, separates the hands, turns right back into him, and now's the time where Urijah's got to let his hands go a little bit here to end the round. Man, some tough love from Mr. Edgar out here in this. Almost 20 minutes into the fight, and he's yelling at his son, "Come on, man, you ain't tired."
You can hear him in the rafters here. Nice left hand is there for Faber. And again, as many expected, you just get more volume from Frankie Edgar.
Nice jab there from Urijah.
So an appreciative crowd here in Manila greeting the fighters before this 5th and final round. What'd you take away from the messages from both corners before the final 5 minutes?
Well, I really like the message in the corner, Urijah Faber. They want him to get really aggressive on the feet and force Frankie Edgar to shoot. They feel like if you just get ultra aggressive, let your hands go, it'll force Edgar to shoot, and that can set up a guillotine. So many of Urijah's wins have come when he's able to frustrate a guy or overwhelm him and force a scramble, and that's where he finishes you. And he's trying to put a lot of pressure on Frankie now to force him to shoot and force one of those scramble positions. So quick, you miss with one strike and he's right back in your face, and that's what makes it difficult to get aggressive on him as well, because as you move forward on him, he circles away.
And he fights as if he's much longer because he closes that gap with his footwork.
It was exactly the fight Frankie Edgar expected. He said it's going to be really difficult to get him down and control him. He's such a difficult guy to finish, but he wanted to try and finish this fight, but just not a whole lot of opportunities, and he knows how dangerous a guy Urijah Faber is. You start to force positions on him, and he's going to be the one to catch you. A nice uppercut there from Edgar.
And that might have been the most significant strike of the fight on either side. As you saw Faber's head snap back a little bit.
Urijah was able to set up and land some knees early in the fight. Disguising it, making it look like he was going to kick with his right leg, coming up with a knee with the left. See if he returns to those here in round 5. It's Frankie Edgar looking and scoring the takedown. Now Ricardo Almeida in the corner of Frankie Edgar said he'd like to see him when he gets in this clinch, sneak one of your hooks in and try to fall into half guard. He wants him to take a little bit more risk here in round 5.
So a couple takedowns for Edgar in this 5th and final round.
I mean, takes him down with authority, but Urijah right back to his feet. Brilliant use of the underhook to get back up. Again, though, that volume certainly helping the scorecards in the favor of Frankie Edgar.
We hit the midpoint of our 5th and final round. Frankie Edgar starting to pull away, or so it would seem. Nice combination by Faber. But again, his corner calling for more. Nice shot there on the inside by Faber.
Yeah, Justin Buckles in the corner. Urijah Faber wants a lot more volume right now. Ooh, nice overhand right again from Urijah Faber. He's done a nice job at catching Frankie as he's come in several times tonight. Edgar just lands multiple uppercuts in that exchange. Frankie's extremely light on his feet, which makes it hard to counterpunch him. By the time he's finished throwing his combination, he backs away or angles so quickly.
Little slip there by Edgar, back to his feet immediately.
Goes back to that knee pick, but Uriah's not having any of it. And in those situations, that's where Urijah needs to explode and try and land some heavy punches.
He's just having a hard time getting off and maybe not taking as many chances here down the stretch as you'd expect.
Yeah, it's crazy. When you got one guy who fights at 135 and the other guy at 145, you'd expect the 145-pounder to have the power and strength advantage and the other guy to be the faster one. In this situation, it's actually reversed.
Under a minute now to go in this one. Frankie Edgar in perpetual motion, able to land another combination. Faber cracks him with that right hand.
And exactly what you expect with two highly skilled athletes who do a great job of capitalizing on their opponent's mistakes, and these guys just don't make that many.
Yeah.
They don't leave you many holes.
Seconds winding down. Edgar with the overhand right. So Frankie Edgar and Urijah Faber go the 25-minute distance here tonight in Manila.
Well, the story of this game was Frankie Edgar's volume and his diversity of strikes. Urijah landed some very nice counter punches at times, but Edgar was just relentless, was able to score several takedowns, even though he wasn't able to control Urijah much. Just continued a high output for 5 straight rounds, many of them very competitive. But Frankie seemed to edge out the majority of them. We'll see what the judges think.
All right, with that, we get it inside the octagon. Bruce Buffer now with the official decision.